Nothing like a good old zombie movie and some comedy tossed in together. No, we're not talking about Shaun of the Dead. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and this is Dave from Nerdbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife Jenn, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode of the 31 Days of Halloween, we are talking about Cooties. Better not catch it. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
Novelist Clint, played by Elijah Wood, shows up at his old school to substitute teach when a mysterious virus breaks out amongst the students, pitting him and the other teachers against them.
Cooties is a fun horror that is elevated by Rainn Wilson. Now, if you're a fan of him and his role on The Office playing Dwight, then you're going to love this because the characters are very similar. Only he is the stereotypical PE teacher instead of being the office Nazi. And he is dialed up, as you would expect, to 10.
No, he's dialed up to 100.
Oh yeah, he is. The infected are fast-moving zombies, like we've seen in 28 Days Later or the Dawn of the Dead remake. And they are a bit more intelligent and methodical in how they hunt. I don't know if you can really call them zombies, because they are pretty intelligent, because they do set up some of their victims in very cool ways.
Yeah, they do. And they, they'll like break something so that it can't be used, or, that sort of thing, to kind of like be able to stop the teachers from like getting away or going, a certain direction. So there is like intelligence to them. So I think it's more like you said, like a whole case of like a virus. It's not necessarily a zombie.
Mm-hmm. Cooties is what it is, right? So it spreads amongst the kids pretty quickly, and they become violent and vicious, mainly towards adults, because that's really all that's there, right?
Yeah. I think it kind of tells you, really in the title, that it's like a kid thing too, because it's called Cooties. Mm-hmm. And what do kids always say? Oh, you have cooties, you have cooties. So, and this also is a movie that can be watched with the whole family.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, unless you have like really little kids and they're just afraid of, blood or, bloodthirsty kids, then maybe not. But again, they are elementary school kids, so.
Yeah. If you're a teacher with PTSD from teaching, then you may know how to watch this. It is centralized in the school, so you have the faculty that gets trapped inside.
Yeah.
And honestly, ain't nothing more creepier than a school that's kind of vacated for the end of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe a hospital, but now you have like these virus infected kids tracking you down. That's pretty scary.
Definitely, especially if maybe you haven't been teaching there as long as these kids have been going there, right? They know the whole school. Mm-hmm. I mean, even as a teacher, you may not see the entire school while you're teaching, but kids typically do if they're going to different classes or whatever the case may be. And the principal, he's just nuts, right? Like, he wants everything a certain way. He makes the teachers all turn in their phones. That right there, you just messed up, right? Because you took away all their phones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they can't call out for help.
No.
You do have your little Easter eggs in this film, like going up to the rooftop and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And I'll have to tell you, like, as a fan of Rainn Wilson, he killed it and carried the film, because he's just hilarious. And it's not like Ed Helms, who plays Andy in The Office and then plays the same character in all of his other films.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it,
he does. Yeah, he's the same character with a different name in every film. And you know what's really funny about that is that he was in that movie Tag, which is based on a true story, yet he was still the same character. How are you the same character when you are playing someone who that really happened to?
Yeah, I enjoyed him for a very short time, but even like with The Office, I didn't really like him on The Office. I liked him in some of the movies because of The Hangover.
Yeah.
And it's just like, where you have Rainn Wilson, who plays similar characters in all of his movies too, but he just has a better delivery.
Yeah, I think it's because like Ed Helms is kind of like stale. He doesn't even have like a different facial expression. Like all he has is, you know, his smile with his big teeth, and that's pretty much all you get.
Mm-hmm. Now, Elijah Wood's character, he's a returning teacher, as we mentioned. He is returning to the school, and he has a past history with Lucy, who is Wade's girlfriend.
Yeah, they went to school together, so they're like catching up, and then you have, you know, some jealousy. Is it warranted? Is there something going on?
Yeah, and with him being dialed up to 100 in this character role, you can imagine what's going to happen there with him flexing his muscles and his testosterone around everybody.
Non-existent muscles. Mm-hmm. Wearing his wife beater with his dad bod.
Yep. So you have that as your small little group of survivors trying to get away from the kids, and obviously you're going to have some conflict on who leads the team. Is it going to be the jock, PE teacher, or is it going to be the wannabe novelist brain in Wade and Elijah Wood?
Yeah, and let's get something straight too, right? He's not a good gym teacher. He's a terrible gym teacher.
Yes, and they joke about that in the school, so you get to see that in the movie.
He is like the worst. I think I had a gym teacher like him once. He's not a good gym teacher. He's not physically fit. I had one like that. You know, I mean, he couldn't even do the things that he wants these kids to do. So
Wade Johnson, pleased to meet you with meat to please you.
Actually, we kind of met earlier. You parked me in.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. It's fine. It's just that you parked so close that I couldn't get out of it.
My truck's got a dual rear wheel.
I'm sorry?
So it's good for the whole family. It's not over the top gory. You know, there's been so many zombie movies that have come out since Resident Evil hit the video game market, which has been over 20 years. And this one's enjoyable.
yeah, I like when they do it a little different and it's not like a straightforward zombie movie. You know, it stems from something else. It's not quite a zombie, but just a little. So I like when they do that because, I mean, zombies, they get played out.
This is true. Now, how are you doing on the Nerd Box Challenge for this Halloween? Are you checking off movies? Are you adding some of the movies that we recommend to put on your list so you can keep up with that? Let us know by dropping that in the comments.
Yeah, and if you have anything that you would like us to see, put it in the comments.
And don't forget, it is the quest for 5,000 subscribers, so every video that hits 100 likes, 100 comments, you get to win a shot at a prize. And when we hit the 5,000 subscriber mark, you get a chance to win this box of Strawberries and Scream cereal signed by Matthew Lillard and David Arquette. And you can also do that by adding... And
if you like, subscribe, and share, that obviously will help us get to the mark we want to be at, and then you have a chance to win something.
yeah, who can't beat free stuff?
Right?
Yeah. And until tomorrow on the 31 Days of Halloween, see ya.
See ya.